Supershoes, are they worth it? Do you get the performance benefits that they provide? Do you own a super shoe? Should everyone own a super shoe? Let's dive in today and see what our thoughts and opinions are on super shoes compared to every other type of shoe on the market currently. So you may have seen recently that Adidas or Adidas has released a £400 super shoe. It's only available via a ballot, and even then obviously you've then got to pay quite an extraordinary price to get it. They've also marketed it as a single marathon shoe, so i.e. a shoe that you can only use for one marathon. So I thought I'd do a quick discussion in terms of what is everyone else's beliefs. Are they worth it? Super shoes generally, not just that one specifically, but the other expensive super shoes, so the types of Alpha Fly, Vaporfly, the Metaspeed Edge or Sky Plus, the Endorphin range, so the Endorphin Pro or the Endorphin Elite, the Adios Pro, those kind of top end super tech super shoes, which again generally they'll publish with a kind of stated performance boost of say 5%. I've kind of seen that stated previously, that if you wear that compared to a general bog standard daily trainer, then you should see a 5% boost. So let's open a discussion. Firstly, do you own a super shoe? If so, drop it in the comments. What do you own? Which super shoe do you own? And why did you go and decide and get that one? So more than one. So drop in the comments if you own a super shoe, or if you have previously owned a super shoe. Are you one of those in that category? So I'm going to go with at least 150, 175 pounds plus. Some nowadays are over £200, but so drop in the comments if you own or have owned a super shoe and why you decided to go and get that one. If you haven't owned a super shoe yet, like myself, I've never actually owned one. What is the most expensive running shoe you've ever purchased? So again, I just want to see a kind of a broad spectrum of what kind of shoes people have purchased previously. If you're not gone and got a super shoe specifically, have you gone and got a really good quality shoe? And how much was that? And again, why did you go and decide to get that one? And then just a bit about what my beliefs. Obviously, I've never owned a super shoe up until now. I am starting to look at maybe next year looking to get one really good quality shoe. So I was looking at the Adios Pro range. You can generally get them now on a bit of a discount, especially the 2. Even the 3 starting to come down because I think the 4 will be out soon. I've never owned a Nike shoe, again just because of the price seems to be even more inflated for that specific brand. But this year, and even last year, I tend to spread my costs, so I don't have a large budget. I don't even have £200 for running shoes generally, so I have less than that. So I generally don't try and get one shoe with that, because that would have to do everything. It'd have to do all my running. And the volume I do, I generally do over 2,000 kilometres or more per year now. So one shoe will never do that. And if I used all the budget on that shoe, I would be kind of stuffed about halfway through the year at least. So just as a comparison, I'm not knocking all the super shoes, and that's why I want your comments underneath in terms of what your opinions are. I'm not saying no one should get a super shoe, no one should buy an expensive shoe. This is just what I've been doing now, but obviously I'm starting to look at maybe the opposite side of it now, maybe trying to get a better quality shoe to try and improve my running. But then on the other hand, there's that 5% which has been stated as a potential performance boost from these higher tech shoes. For the general runner, so the average Joe runner or average Jane runner, is that 5% kind of any real benefit? Is it worth it? I get it for the elites, the 5% or 3% could be the difference between winning a major marathon and coming 3rd or 4th. The same for any other distances, half marathons and any of these major events. That could make a difference to those kind of guys and girls. But for someone that's running, say, a 20-minute 5K, like me, for example, I run just below that. 5% would be 1 minute. So if I could run it under 19 minutes, yes, I'd be happy about that. But would it make a big difference overall? No. And the same again for 25-minute 5K, knocking a couple of minutes off. Would that be of benefit? Potentially, but again, overall, it's not going to change the grand scheme of things in your life. And I don't think it's personally worth that hundreds and hundreds of pounds per year, especially when it's a depreciating asset in terms of every time you use it, it's getting worse, and every time you use it, it's obviously losing value, and eventually you just throw it away. You don't resell it or anything like that. So just as a bit of a comparison, I generally get a rotation, so 2 or 3 shoes for at least the price of one super shoe. I'm not saying that's right or wrong. Again, drop in the comments. Am I doing things should I do things differently? Would you recommend me doing other things? This is what I've done for the last 2 years. So this time, last 18 months ago, I generally restock at the end of a year. So, and then that sees me through for the whole calendar year. So, at the end of 2021, I purchased the Hoka Rincon 2, the Reebok Float Ride 3, and the New Balance Nitro V4 trail shoe, and I got all of those 3 shoes for less than I think it was 170 quid, so less than 170 quid, which again would be probably the price of one of those super shoes I mentioned previously. Now, that one super shoe, yes, it is better than all 3, probably all better than potentially better than all 3 combined, but it's just the one shoe, and it would have to be done. I'd have to use that for every single bit of running, easy days, long runs, speed workouts, tempo runs, race day, and for what I needed, obviously my idea of running and my plan for running, that would never have worked, the single shoe idea, which is why I spread the cost. And then this year I went even more kind of bargain basement. So at the end of last year, so in 2022, I bought the Asics Joke 3, the Adidas Duramo 10, and the New Balance Fresh Foam 680 V7. I got those 3 shoes for less than 120 quid. So again, 3 shoes for less than 120 pounds, which obviously equates to less than 40 pound a shoe. So again, it was really bargain basement. Now again, I'm not saying I've done anything right. I've found issues this year potentially with the bargain shoes, in terms of they don't protect the legs as much. They're obviously not as enjoyable or easy to run in. You're doing a lot of work yourself. They don't give you any enhancements in terms of propulsion or gait cycle and helping you propel forward more efficiently. That's all down to me. So there is drawbacks. However, the 3 shoes have stood up well. They've allowed me to do all my running, all my mileage. I've got no injuries, touch wood per se, to pick up to really comment on in terms of shoe caused injuries rather than just running caused injuries. But yeah, so drop in the comments. Am I right? Am I wrong? This year and the last year, I've kind of spread the cost. Next year, because I've still got a couple of shoes, to be fair, the Reebok Float Ride 3s have gone. As you can probably tell, I've worn them for quite a few miles now. So they've kind of been retired. I have previously bought a Reebok Float Ride Energy 5, which are fresh out of the box. I'm not running them yet. I'm going to keep them towards the end of the year. So next year, that's the reason why I'm looking at maybe buying a more expensive single kind of better quality shoe. So yeah, so I'm looking at maybe purchasing one better quality shoe next year, probably the most expensive shoe I've bought. So that earlier question about what's the most expensive shoe you guys have bought, mine would be the Hoka Rincon 2. 18 months ago, I bought this for £73, I think it was. It was RRP'd for 105, but I got it for 73, and that is the single highest price I've paid for a running shoe ever, including all the 6 shoes obviously in front of me. But yeah, looking at maybe getting a better quality shoe next year, because hopefully some of these shoes are still within my rotation. The 3 budget shoes are still going fairly strong. I think they've still got quite a few 100 miles in them. Trail shoes, I'll generally do more of that in the upcoming months, with it being autumn and winter. So again, some of the mileage will roll onto them. The Reebok Float Ride 3 is being retired, but the Reebok Float Ride Energy 5, which I've purchased and held back, that will come into my rotation, which will do a fair few 100 miles. So it gives me the option to buy one better quality shoe and kind of test that out and compare that. And if that is a benefit to me and my running, to have that better quality shoe to hold back for PBs and time trials and hard efforts and race days, etc. So that's what I'm going to look to do. But they said basically the whole point of this video was basically a discussion that these super shoes, are they getting a bit out of hand? Are they getting overpriced? Now, again, before you dive into the comments, I appreciate the Adidas Evo, which has just come out, the £400 single-use marathon shoe. Isn't aimed at me directly, isn't aimed at a mid-30s average runner who just runs recreationally. I can buy it if I wish to, but then I can't buy it and then turn around and complain about it, which costs too much. It's my choice to buy it or not. I will not be buying it, obviously, or even trying to. I get Adidas doing it as a marketing ploy, that it's got people talking about it. It's caused a discussion. I'm talking right now. Other running people in the running community talking about it, which again gives them free publicity. And I also get that if they put it on the feet of elite athletes and they run and win a few major marathons, that gives them additional publicity, highlights the brand, and then other people, like the general public, will then go and buy other shoes within the lineup from that brand. Not necessarily that shoe specifically, but like I said, the Adios Pros, the Pegasuses, and other running shoes within the lineup. But yeah, the whole point of this was just to start a discussion. So yeah, drop in the comments. Do you like super shoes? Do you own super shoes? Do you think they're worth it? Who are they aimed at? Who are they for? Who should buy them, for example? I've never actually run in a super shoe or any kind of plated shoe as of yet. That might change next year when I decide which shoe or shoes I'm going to be buying rolling into 2024. Is there a major benefit from owning them? So those that have owned a super shoe, have you done a like for like? If you run a 5K, for example, in your daily trainer and then run a 5K in your super shoe, and is there that 4 or 5% stated increase in performance? Do you run quicker in it? Do you find running in it more enjoyable, more efficient, and easier to do so in? Let me know in the comments. I said, because I'm the layman. I don't know. I've never run in one, so I can't comment. I'm just personally previously never thought the total cost is worth the potential small benefits. But again, I'm happy to be corrected in the comments if you wish to say so. But yeah, that was it. Basically, just a quick discussion. Drop in the comments. I'll be happy to read through them. I will respond to every comment you drop in there. Any questions or like I said, comments or opinions you drop in there, I'll happily respond. That's the whole point. This is not me slagging off super shoes. I'm not slagging off Adidas or any other major company. I give my opinion that previously up till now I've never really purchased an expensive shoe. Over time now, maybe I think that's not the perfect system to use. And like I said, look, I've hopefully admitted I might look at maybe buying a discounted super shoe next year. That's possibly the Adios Pro or maybe one of the Meta Speeds, something like that. So just to see again, just so I can experience it, and I appreciate it. It's got more propulsion, it's squishier, and it gives energy return, and the profile of the shoe helps you run in form and makes you run more efficiently. Then obviously all those will be of benefit to me, and I will enjoy running in them. I've just had my limit in terms of how much I'm willing to pay for those benefits. But yeah, so drop in the comments. I thought I'd open a discussion. I commented on another video a while previously about this topic in terms of when will it end. So we're at £400 now. I think a couple last year or the year before when it was £250, close to £300 for a running super shoe. People were saying, well, that's getting a bit expensive. Now we're at £400, and again, it's just a prototype type shoe. It's not really been released to the general public, but something like this will probably come out later in the year or early next year. When will it end? Will we see a £500 shoe? I was saying on a video comment a while back that will we hit £1,000 eventually? Will there be a £1,000 running shoe in 5-10 years time? Who knows? But yeah, drop in the comments your thoughts on running shoes. Do you just get any old running shoe and running it because it's just running? Do you get a super shoe and try and get the best out of yourself? But yeah, it'd be interesting to see. As always, thank you for watching. I'm happy to see any opinions in the comments. Please feel free to drop them in there, and I'll see everyone on the next one.